Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Big game at the weekend. Manchester City 2, Arsenal 2. Very, very strange game. Came out the ground feeling a bit weird. Just celebrated a last-minute equaliser. So obviously we were pumping. But the further away from the stadium I got, the more I was thinking, should we have beat them there? You know what I mean? It was a weird game. That second half was strange, but we're going to get into it. I'm sat here. I'm having my fruit loaf. Never had fruit loaf before, so I went to Starbucks in London. Now I love fruit loaf. If anyone can recommend a good fruit loaf, let me know. But yeah, the game was building up nicely. Last week I went on so many channels and doing daft things, and the Arsenal fan base is a very strange one. If you watch last night's Big Six show, you would realise how strange that fan base really is. They literally want validation for everything they do. They want to try and tell me what I should be saying, to try and tell me my opinion on the game. But it's very strange. Over £1,000 worth of super chats last night on the Big Six. And like I said on the show, I've got Arsenal fans right here, right there. Too easy. But anyway, from the Manchester City perspective, we went into the game. The team was looking good. Kyle Walker came back in the side. First 15 minutes, I thought Manchester City were on top. I didn't think we looked uncomfortable. I thought we looked great. I know Rodri got a rattle in the first couple of seconds. I didn't see what happened there, so I can't really comment on that. But then the goal, Savinho cut inside, great bit of play, plays it through to Big Earl. Big Earl runs in, smashes it hard and low. 100 goals in 105 games, which is absolutely unbelievable for him. You know what I mean? And then 1-0, we're looking fine. I thought we dominated possession. I thought Arsenal was sat back defending. They didn't really offer anything on the counter-attack, nothing really. I thought City looked in control. We had a free kick on the edge of the box. I thought Ilkay Gundogan was going to make it 2-0. He was so unlucky. I was right behind it. He hit the post. And then all hell broke loose, to be fair. Rodri off a corner, jars his knee, which we're going to talk about at the end of the stream. He goes off injured. We bring on Kovacic, and I just feel like the rhythm that City had created in the first 15 minutes was lost for about 10 minutes. I feel like we were all over the place. We didn't really know what we were doing. We needed to get comfortable on the ball and get back into that rhythm. And Arsenal ended up flipping the game. Calafiori with a great goal down the left-hand side. Some say he meant it. Some say it was a cross. I don't know. But anyway, it was a fantastic strike. But there was a little bit of controversy before that. The referee had blown his whistle, asked the two captains, Kyle Walker, Bukayo Saka, to come over because the game was getting a bit heated. Basically, they had a word with Kyle, and he was walking back or jogging back to his position, telling the team basically to calm down. Arsenal took a quick free kick, gets Martinelli in and behind, lays it back, Calafiori scores. I heard Kyle Walker on Talk Sport. He was basically saying that the referee never let him get back into position, which it is a bit naughty, by the way, that. It is a bit naughty. If the shoe would have been on the other foot and that had have happened to Arsenal, all hell would break loose. You know that, don't you? But anyway, we took it on the chin, 1-1. Then Arsenal started to get a little bit more joy. They finally got out their own half and tried to have a go. Set pieces is the problem with Arsenal. At the minute, they're doing really, really well off set pieces. I don't know how anyone can see what they're doing. They're basically blocking the goalkeeper off, and they're getting a run on every defender by standing just on the edge of the box or around with a little bit of a run up and running in and attacking the ball. It's fucking old school corner routines from back in the day, but for somehow this modern day marking system, no one can cope with it. We got let off with the first corner. Ederson's blocked all over the place, and he heads it over the bar. So we should have learned our lesson from that one, what was going to happen. Ederson has got the power to smash through people to get the ball because you're a goalkeeper. So in my opinion, that second goal, Ederson should have done better. And Kyle Walker giving it the big one and poking him and pushing him as if you're trying to intimidate him and then letting him run past you and head it in the net is just a joke, to be fair. It's a joke. So we find ourselves sorry for eating, I'm just starving. We find ourselves 2-1 down. And you're thinking, how's this game flipped on its head like this? You know what I mean? We were in control. We were looking good. We should have been 2-0 up with Gundogan. All of a sudden, Rodri's gone off injured. And we're 2-1 down at home to Arsenal. The worst team you can be 2-1 down to is Arsenal. Because if Arsenal have got something to defend, which they did have a lead, then it's going to be hard work. Then it got worse, in my opinion. Trossard, sent off. For me, I thought he got sent off for the shove in the back of Bernardo. He got sent off because they put it on the screens at half time for kicking the ball away. It's the second time this season an Arsenal player has been sent off for kicking the ball away. And it's the second time this season they've dropped points. So that's on them. That ain't on the referee. That ain't on Manchester City. That's on them, right? So no one's giving them sympathy for that. That's your own doing. So we go in at half time. 2 dressing rooms. Arsenal's dressing room, City dressing room. In the Arsenal dressing room, Arteta will be saying, we need to defend our lead. Do not concede. Defend the lead. We win 2-1. In City's dressing room, Pep's saying, we need to go for it and get something from the game. That is all we can do. We come out the second half, and it was like a training session, attack v defense. They had like 9 players right across the box. It was literally hard work to get through. But I don't blame Arsenal for playing that way because they were down to 10 men. Last season, I called Arsenal out for coming to the Etihad with 11 men and stinking the gaff out for the draw. That, to me, showed weak mentality. On Sunday, Sunday, I believe they had no choice. I believe if they try and go toe-to-toe with us with 10 men, we kill them. So I ain't got a problem with Arsenal using their best card, which is defence, and lining up like that. But from a Manchester City point of view, it was so frustrating. I understand Pep's thoughts in it. We were side to side. We had Ruben Diaz, Kovacic, Walker, Akanji, all shooting from the edge of the box. It was so frustrating to watch. So frustrating to watch. Arsenal were defending. They were time wasting. Raya was rolling around on the floor. Martinelli was pretending he had cramp. They were trying everything in the book to get the result. I get that. You know, that's a bit of Arteta. He does that. But from a City point of view, it was frustrating. So with 10 minutes to go, I'm thinking we need a point. We've got to get a point. Get a point and we move. It's early in the season. Don't get beat. Get a point. Take 2 off them as well. And we'll take that. I think every City fan would have took that. The final roll of the dice, just before that Raya had got the ball, the Arsenal centre-backs were celebrating. Jack Grealish with a quick corner. We get into the box. Kovacic with a shot. Ricochets about. And then the King of the North, Johnny Stones, stabs it home. 2-2. Scenes in the South Stand. Scenes. And apparently now, we're celebrating a draw. No. We're celebrating a last-minute goal. There's a difference. Celebrating a last-minute goal. Nobody stayed in that stadium celebrating that draw at the end. We got the goal and we all walked out of there thinking, fucking hell, that was an awful game to watch from a City point of view because it was boring at the end, but we got a point. So we're taking the point. Do you know what I mean? We're taking the point. Then the unfortunate news comes out yesterday that Rodri's done his ACL. I think we're waiting for confirmation, but we're pretty much certain. The top journalists have said it. Which, to be honest, is a fucking nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. Because it is a big problem. Not necessarily at home. I think we get away with it. But when we got to go Anfield and United and places like that, we've got to be strong in the middle of the park. Whether it's going to be a Kovacic and Gundogan double pivot, Mateus Nunes for the energy. What have we bought him for? What have we bought him for? Because he doesn't start. He don't come on as a sub. He's just there. You know, this may be the time where Pep's got to get him one-to-one personal program and turn Mateus Nunes into some sort of fucking demon. But it's crazy. It's crazy to think. Or is John Stones going to step into that midfield role? Is John Stones going to step in there, do what he did in the treble winning season and become that guy? Rico Lewis, you know, can he step into the midfield, bring a bit of energy? I think it's about the energy in there because Kovacic is, what, 30, 31. Gundogan, what, 33. Kevin De Bruyne is now getting on. Bernardo Silva is getting up there. So the age level of the midfield is quite high. We've got obviously Phil Foden who can play in there if he needs to. But I feel like we've got to get to January. Get to January, keep picking up results, and we've got to buy someone. Tixie's got to go out there and buy someone. It's always exceptional cases in January where we go into the market. To lose your best player, the Ballon d'Or, future Ballon d'Or winner, after 3 or 4 games of the season and not replace him will be criminal. So we need to go and find a solution. Zubimendi at Real Sociedad didn't go to Liverpool. I'm not being funny. I'd like to think Man City's a more attractive proposition than Liverpool. I think them boys should go over there and get him. So it's going to be very interesting to see what we do with that. But let me know what you think, guys, about the game. Are you happy with the draw because of the circumstances? Because before the game, I don't think I would have been happy with a draw. I think we needed to win. But taking into account 2-1 down at half time, they've got 10 men, the way they defended, I think a draw could be a good result because we were 60 seconds away from getting beat. And let me tell you this, if they'd have won, you'd never hear the end of it. Do you know what I mean? They were already G'ing the crowd up before the end as if they'd won. Their bench was jumping around like they'd won the World Cup. So to them, a win at the Etihad would be massive psychological boost. So I'm glad that we kicked them in the bollocks at the end and didn't do it because we would never heard the end of it. But apparently now Manchester City fans are rattled. Manchester City fans are, we know Arsenal are coming. There's a change in the guard. They're talking about 4 games. You've not beat us in 4 games. But for the last 10 before that, we won every one. So it's a bit weird, this Arsenal, like they've achieved something by not getting beat in 4 games. Like, I don't know if that's an achievement. I don't know where they get that kind of validation from. This is my point on the Big Six show last night. You have to change your mindset to go on that show because 90% of the people that watch it are Arsenal fans because it was on an Arsenal channel. So at the end of the day, it's very, very strange. And I just basically go on there, waffle loads of nonsense, rattle them all to death. Don't let them bully City. Don't give in to their agendas. Don't tell them how good they are. Don't tell them nothing. And just basically be a twat. And then I go into the comments after it, carpet bomb the whole comments, and leave them for days rattled. But it earns us a good few quid. And it gets my anger out at a different level. When I go on other shows like TalkSport and Sky and I work for City and that, I have to be level-headed and be myself, which I am. But if these people don't know me on that Big Six, so they don't watch my channel, so they don't know that, you know, half the time I'm trolling. Half the time I'm telling the boys in the chat that what I'm going to do tonight and stuff like that. But listen, it is what it is. It's only a show. It's a great show. And yeah, every time Man City are up against one of the Big Six, I ain't backing down, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But yeah, first of all, we want to wish Rodri all the best. Let's hope that there's a glimmer of hope and it's not as bad as first thought. But the reports coming out today are looking like it is going to be a bad one. Do you think we could have done anything different, Blues? Do you think Rico Lewis would have been different to Kyle Walker? Do you think we have to sort out the set piece situation? Because I feel like we were vulnerable there. Is Phil Foden ready to start now? You know, we're playing Watford tonight in the League Cup. I believe Phil Foden's going to start up front. It's going to be an interesting one tonight. We'll touch on the Watford game. It's a League Cup game with Watford at home. It's a game we very much should win. Is this the game where Nico O'Reilly, Mcfc, Nunes, etc., are they going to get games? Are they going to start tonight? Stefan Ortega will obviously start. We need to start getting people up to speed because Kevin De Bruyne's picked up an injury in the last few weeks. Nathan Ake's injured. Rodri's now out for a long time. Oscar Bobb's broke his leg. So it's not looking good at the minute. It's not looking good. So we need as many people up to speed as we possibly can. We've got tough games coming up. We've got Newcastle away on Saturday, which early kickoff's going to be tough. Then we fly out to Bratislava next week. So the games are coming thick and fast. I just think we've got to get back in our rhythm. We've got to do what Manchester City does best. We've got to pull together on the pitch and off the pitch. And we've got to just keep ticking along nice and get to this January window and let Pep freshen it up. We know El Chivira's coming in from River Plate, but a defensive midfielder, fresh legs in there is somebody I think we need to go and get. So for me, it's all eyes on the prize now. Full steam ahead till January. Keep it moving. Let me know in the comments what you think about the game. Could we have done anything different? You know, what's the Rodri situation? What's your ideal midfield if you could play it? Can Kovacic be that man? Can Kovacic do Rodri's job? I believe he can. I think he can do it. Him and Gundogan taking turns. I feel like they can do that. But I feel it's down to Pep now. I think Pep has got to prove his worth. I think he's got to come up with a system and a solution to get the results needed, get us to January, and then, you know, freshen it up a little bit. What else am I doing this week? Oh, Wednesday, tomorrow, I am at the Mid-Cheshire Manchester City Supporters Club. They've asked me to come down and do a Q&A. I'm a little bit embarrassed by it, to be honest, because I'm just a fan and yeah, do a little bit of this YouTube and that. But to sit there and answer questions, I don't know if anyone will fucking turn up. So, but they've asked me, and they've asked me a load of times to do it, and I said I'll do it. So I'm going to go. So if there's any of you guys, Mid-Cheshire Blues, Winsford, I think it is, branch, I'm there on Wednesday. I'll put something on my story to let you know what it is. If you want to come down, come down. It'd be great to see people who back me on the streams. It'd be great to come and chat to you guys. Come and put names to faces, etc., etc. So if you're at a loose end on Wednesday, come to the Winsford branch. Come and see me. We'll have a chat about City and whatever you want to do. And yeah, hopefully, people turn up. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say on the situation. If you want to see a classic masterclass of deflection and steering the Arsenal pot, go and watch last night's Big Six show. Go and watch it. It was crazy. Had the 6 panelists and about 12,000 were watching live, were coming from me from every angle. But I'm just batting it off, man. I'm just batting it off. And apparently you're not allowed to mention you've won 4 league titles because it upsets them. You're not allowed to mention you've won the league. You know, you've got to basically say Arsenal are the best team in the world and they're going to win the league, so it makes them feel better. Anyway, Blues, we'll leave it on that. Thanks for the support. Please leave a like on the stream. Please share the stream to your mates. And if you're at Winsford on Wednesday, I'll see you there. If you're at the match tonight against Watford, the South Stand, I'll see you there. Come on, City.